result is that people started coming to see me saying, "You helped my aunt, my sister, my grandmother, my mother, my neighbor who had breast implants because they had mold. We have mold in our home and we're sick. Can you help us?" So again, looking for a good lab to help diagnose and examine these patients carefully, and came out with some solutions for them. One thing I learned is that one size doesn't fit all, and molds and mycotoxins, and there's all kinds of manifestations. And again, another 25 or so publications on molds and mycotoxins and how to treat them, how to diagnose, how to best help the variety of symptoms in patients there are. And it's still a struggle to try and get a lot of doctors to believe in this, because it mimics so many other disorders and diseases, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, et cetera, and so doctors think that it's something else rather than due to molds and mycotoxins.
Yeah, and the individual sensitivity to them, I think, is what makes it so difficult to get doctors to, we do really well when everyone acts the same. My simple analogy is that nobody argues about the effect of a bullet wound, but when you have something like mold and mycotoxin, which many of us can tolerate with minimal effects, and and other people, it's devastating. And I think that's where we get into trouble. Doctors want everybody to act the same.
It makes it simpler for them. But the point is that everybody's immune system is unique and different, like a fingerprint. So as a result, you get these variances in people, and some people are in the same household. You have mold in the same household, and one person is very ill, and the other person is somewhat ill.
Yeah, and that is what it makes so much of the strain. There are so many families that are ripped apart because it's really easy to decide that the other person is quote unquote neurotic, or secondary gain, or all those wonderful psychological diagnoses that we like to put on things we don't understand. It is terrible. But what's fascinating to me about the mold and mycotoxin story, and talking to you, is just reinforcing something that's like, I'm almost embarrassed, because I said I was remember back in the 80s when Dr. Crook, and we were talking about Candida, and we always have paid attention to that, but it just amazes me that we didn't, at least I didn't, realize the full magnitude of molds and mycotoxins. Really, it's been a slow burn, over the last 15 years. We start doing more and more, but it's, I don't know, it just seems like it took the last 5 years to go boom. This is what's often stopping people. You write about chronic Lyme, and that's something that I've been treating for 20 years, and it's so true that is, that the overlap, and there's some people who feel that that the Lyme is in fact what maybe potential, affects the immune system to make mycotoxins in one population more sensitive to the mycotoxins. But tell me more